Hi Taurus, if you've made it this far, then well done. This message is for you. I have pulled the cards and meditated on them. I did start the reading, realised that I was filming on the wrong camera, so I've had to do a little switch around. Anyway, so yes, this is your reading for February 2023. We're going to get into it. Like I said, I have pulled the cards already. I've meditated on them, pulled some messages through, but I will be clarifying with a different deck. So you can see me do that. I'm pulling a few oracle cards for you as well, but we're just going to get into it. So what I'm seeing for you in this reading is you have been isolating from a lot of people for a long time, possibly in relation to friendships, people that you would usually enjoy yourself around. You'd enjoy their company, they'd enjoy yours. This could have something to do with the winter months. I am seeing a little bit of seasonal depression, but the Hermit's showing up here, and the Hermit really talks about, I don't know if you can see that, but the Hermit really talks about, going within, kind of isolating yourself from the external world, lounging around the house in blankets, in your favourite PJs, drinking cups of tea, drinking soup, that kind of thing. But it is really kind of just a pulling back of your energy, really, not wanting to converse probably in the same way as what you have done in the past, with the people that you have done in the past. It's that kind of energy of just let me just shut the world out for a minute and just kind of enjoy myself, enjoy my own company for a while. I do think that's about to change. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. So the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy. It's all about expansion. It's all about growth. And it's all about broadening as well. So it's almost like this opening up. So I feel like stepping into summer, you could be making lots of plans. You could be visiting, visiting friends, things like that. I am picking up like festivities, weddings, parties. I don't think this is necessarily pointing to your wedding. If I'm speaking to you, this is your Taurus reading. It's more like you will be attending. You are there in attendance. Yeah. So what's grounding this reading really is friendship groups. I'd say friendship groups. It doesn't have to be friendship groups. It could just be relationships in general. But this talks about, it's a very feminine energy. So it's sisters, girlfriends. It could even be aunties. It's that kind of thing. This is kind of the card of the harem, like the group. This is the card of the mother, the maiden, and the crone. So it could also, it's like the mother, you, and the daughter, or something to that effect. I feel like you're really enjoying that energy at the moment of just kind of keeping it kind of, closed off, quite private, quite separate from everything else, really. I just feel like there's been this kind of revival of feminine energy in your life. It could be why you've been pulling back a little bit more as well, because feminine energy to me tends to be a little bit more vulnerable than masculine energy. So that's kind of why you've kind of introverted and gone inwards. It's like you're really enjoying being in that energy right now. But I do think that is, it's summer's coming, and I think a lot of opportunities are going to present themselves for you as well in summer. I just keep getting this thing with seasonings. It's like the season. That's why I'm hearing weddings. So there could be a wedding that you're attending. Okay, I feel like you're really going to enjoy yourself at whatever it is that you've been invited to. You're going to see a lot of old faces there. You're going to see, it's almost like people that maybe you even went to school with, people that you maybe went to college with, or something like that. It's almost like a little bit of a blast from the past. It's not like deep, like, oh my god, I haven't seen you for ages, but it's kind of like familiar faces, people that you've not seen for a while. But it's not a shock that you're seeing them either. You're going to be drinking, eating, sitting around with them, partaking in something to that event, to that effect, sorry. You may even feel like you want to pull back your energy a little bit as well with this Hermit card. It might be a little bit overwhelming for you because you've been so isolated recently, because you've been so shut off and you've kind of been operating from behind the scenes. It may be experienced as a sense of overwhelm of, oh my God, let me just get me out of here. But generally speaking, it's quite nice energy. I do feel like you're going to enjoy it. I just feel like it's going to be a little bit overwhelming for you. in the past, something has stirred you up, something has aroused you, something has woken you up. I feel like this is something to do with an interest or a hobby or some type of activity, because you've got the Ace of Rods. Now, the Ace of Rods is the Ace of Wands, but to me, this talks about the raw material, the very bare bones of a situation, the bare bones of some type of structure or some type of thing that comes into play in your life. It's almost like it's just very up in the air at the moment. It's something that you've shown a bit of an interest in, but you've not developed it any further. You've not taken it very seriously. I do think that you will be taking it more seriously in the future, because you've got this Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords is someone that just straight out the gate, don't around, if you know what I mean. They're straight to the point. They don't care about, you know, who's in the way, who they're pushing out of the way to get to where they need to be. So whatever it is that stirred up this type of passion inside you, this interest, this hobby, this thing that you're wanting to develop or manifest, I feel like in the future you're going to start taking that a lot more seriously, and you may be rubbing up some people up the wrong way because of that. However, I don't think it's necessarily with ill intent that you're doing this. I feel like it's just, you know, because you've been through this period of stagnancy with this Hermit card, because you've been through this and you've been kind of waiting around and sitting around in this energy. It's almost like you're saying, look, no, I don't care, I'm doing it, I don't care, just get out of my way. It's almost like you are really overcoming fear or overcoming some type of obstacle, and it's kind of like you're being really relentless about it. I feel like there's been a period of waiting around, maybe not being able to commit yourself fully to whatever it is that you've recognized, or you know, it's that kind of energy of you not being able to apply yourself practically in the way that you would have wanted to. I feel like action needs to be taken, or it needed to be in the past. Like you felt like, you know, I need to act on this, I need to do this, I need to get this out there, but you haven't been able to, because there's been this stifling Hermit energy. Now, Hermit's an earth sign, it's Virgo, and although it's practical and although it's somebody that's methodical and well thought out, they do want to make an effort, they do want to apply themselves, they do. But I feel with Jupiter showing up, crossing it, it's like, well, when it came about, it wasn't the time, or you didn't have the resources, or there was like a lot of sickness I'm hearing as well. So there could be a lot of sickness or something of that degree that you was having to contend with, that kind of just put the brakes on this situation a little bit. But I do think that that's changing, and I think that that's going to get better and it's going to improve with this Jupiter card, this Wheel of Fortune. Definitely learning something new, because the Page of Pentacles is crowning the reading, and the Page of Pentacles is all about learning something new, applying yourself. This is the card of the apprentice, so you could be kind of putting yourself on new courses, you could be attending classes. There's a lot of ground to cover, but I am actually seeing that this is something more spiritual, because the Hermit's showing up, and so is the Moon card. Now, the Moon's shown up on the bottom of the deck, and the Moon's all about illusions. It's all about things being realized. It's all about deception and how we sometimes are able to deceive ourselves. But again, I'm also getting this illness as well with the Moon, because you know, the Moon draws out illness. It's almost like this could be in relation to a child as well, actually, because the Moon does represent children. And the Page of Pentacles is showing up. So this could be in relation to a child. Maybe the child was suffering with a lot of illness. It was kind of taking up a lot of your time. The things that you really wanted to, you know, invest yourself into, and the things that you wanted to do had to go on a bit of a back burner so that you could contend with these things, and you could be there for your child, and you could be, you know, applying yourself. I feel like you've had to learn a lot about diet and nutrition and substances as well, because, you know, this is Earth, this is the Page. So it's all about nutrition, diet. The Hermit represents digestion, what's digested through the system. It's Virgo energy, so you could be dealing with a Virgo. We've also got Sagittarius and Gemini. Again, Gemini hinting at children as well. So whatever it is that you wanted to invest yourself into in the past had to be put on a bit of a back burner, because you was contending with a lot of childhood sickness. I feel like that really put the brakes on when it came to you going out and enjoying yourself with friends, going to festivities, going to parties. I'm not saying that that's really what you wanted to do. I'm not saying that, leave the baby at home and go out and party. No. But, when you're being invited out to those brunches or those, do you want to go to the cinema for a couple of hours or, just really kind of let your hair down. It was always like there was something in the way to stop that, or no, sorry, I can't come out, or no, sorry, I've got to stay in, or, this is what this hermit energy is. It's like a staying in. And can you see, I'm quite far from the camera, but if you can see on the hermit card, he's looking at this little star and he's like, I need to protect you, I need to look after you, I need to make sure that you're okay. So, the moon's here, and the moon talks about illusions and delusions. So there may have been some hallucination even with this child. They may have kind of been looking past you as well. It's made you kind of think, right, I need to actually take this a little bit more seriously. Like these things, this situation, this whatever's happening with this child is like it needs to be looked at and looked into more seriously, because the Knight of Swords is someone, it's kind of like a rebel with a cause, and he doesn't back down. And it's almost like you are going to the doctor, because the hermit can symbolise a medicine man, a healer. It's almost like you go in and you're saying, look, you need to look into this. You need to do these tests. You need to apply your knowledge in regards to this child, because I know for a fact there's more going on here than meets the eye. There's something happening deep within the psyche, or deep within, just out of sight, basically. It's almost like what's happening beneath the skin. There could be some inflammation going on, like an inflamed digestive system, or an inflamed I'm not sure. We can clarify. I'm not sure, but it's also like this, like a sense of inflammation, flare-ups, lots of flare-ups. These might not even be consistent. But this Wheel of Fortune is just giving me this kind of feeling of going around and around and around. It's almost like there's this consistent flare-up that keeps happening, and you may be really, really struggling to pin it to one thing, is what I'm getting. There's some confusion around this, absolutely, some confusion. It's almost like when things seem to be going well, something else rears its head, or when things seem to be kind of clearing up and you seem to be giving the correct medication, or you seem to be, taking certain things out of the diet, that kind of thing. It's almost like something else flares up, and it's like, oh, well, it can't be that now. It has to be something else. It can't be that. Like, so it's like kind of like you get so far back to the beginning. You get so far back to the beginning. I do feel like things are going to improve in that area as well. I feel like there's maybe some antibiotic. Again, I'm not don't take this with a pinch of salt. This is a general reading, and I'm not medically trained, so there's a bit of a disclaimer. If you do think that something like this is happening in your life, you need to go seek medical attention. But I do think like there's some type of antibiotic or something, or even like a herbal supplement. I'm hearing there's a herbal supplement that could really improve the symptoms of whatever this illness is. I'm hearing like it's a supplement that you can give at night time as well. The reason why you're giving it at night time, it might be because it's quite a sedative. It has like a sedative effect. And it's to counteract some type of inflammation. The Hermit's talking about gut health. It really does talk about the digestive system, what it is that we put into our bodies and how our bodies filter it. So it's something to do with that. And with this Three of Cups, I'm really seeing like a really rich diet. Like here, this is a card of pleasures. This is a card of when you go out with the girls and you think, right, I've been good all week, I've been good all month, I'm going to treat myself, I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to let my hair down, I'm going to order the plate of food that I really want to have, even though I know that it's not good for me. So I'm getting like this really rich diet, or this really something that's been ingested, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Now, this doesn't have to just be food. This could also be things like creams. This could be things like chemicals on the skin, bubble baths, things like, things that you soak in. I'm just getting like chemicals, cosmetics. Some of you could work in cosmetics, some of you could have a job in cosmetics, some of you might be makeup artists, but I'm just hearing like it's the chemicals. There's some sensitivity there to chemicals, there's some sensitivity to certain foods, very particular. That's what I'm getting. Like, this is like someone that's really, really quite complex needs as well. So your child could have quite complex needs in terms of diet, in terms of what you put on the skin, in terms of digestive system. Like, there's a lot. This child is someone that has a really, I'd like to say, poor immune system, or their immune system can be improved by taking a certain supplement. It's something to that effect. So I'm trying to keep these readings down to about 30 minutes. So I'll pull some clarifiers and we'll see what's going on here, and then we'll pull a couple more cards and see if we can get any more messages. But this really, to me, talks about some type of coming out after being isolated due to a lot of child sickness, just kind of going forwards and backwards to the doctors. I do think that things are going to pick up. I do think that things are going to become a little bit more optimistic in that area. I think that an antibiotic is going to be prescribed, and that antibiotic is to be taken at night time. I'm even hearing 2 at night, two to be taken at night time. And I think that's going to improve the digestive system, or the way that the body is processing and filtering the substances that are being ingested. So there is kind of like an intolerance here, and there is like an inflammation, gut health. So it might be like, something like IBS, something like I don't really know what other digestive issues you can have, but yeah, something like IBS, where it's inflamed and it's like bellyache, and it's not nice. It's not nice for them, especially. So I'm going to have a look, pull some more cards, see what else messages we can get. So double confirmation with Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups talks about the Holy Trinity. It's the magic number. It's a number of creation. It's a number of growth. It's the number of the Empress. So again, the Empress is the mother. The mother represents, childhood by proxy, basically. But again, it's Venus energy, which is Taurus energy, which is all about the body. And it's all about the health of the body and sustaining the body, and what is digested into the system. Taurus rules the throat naturally, so again, it's giving that that energy of something that's being eaten, something that's being digested. I do feel like you're feeling quite trapped by this at the moment as well. We've got the Eight of Swords here. Now, the Eight of Swords talks about, being really in your head, feeling like there's no way out. I mean, it's an illusion, because you can see she's not actually bound up in reality. It's just kind of a prison that she's imposed herself. So it's almost like oh my God, when is this going to stop? It's kind of like this prison mentally. You're going over all this information, and you're learning all this new stuff, all these big words I'm hearing, all these bigger words in regards to what's being digested, what medicine works, what antibiotics work, what don't, what they're allowed to take, what they're not. Like, it's a lot. It's almost like you're having to relearn nutrition, or relearn human anatomy to some degree, or learn about how, like, for example, diabetics, they are not supposed to eat sugar. you know, it spikes the blood sugar, that kind of thing. So they need to learn about the foods that are safe for them to eat. So there's a lot of learning going on, but it's almost like it's so broad, there's so much to learn. You're kind of feeling a little bit lost and trapped by it and saying, look, I've got other things that I need to focus on. I've got other things that I need to worry about. Now, I'm not saying that you don't care. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is life doesn't just stop when we have a particular problem. We have to keep on with it. We have to keep going. So it's almost like one thing after another, and you're just like, oh my God, when is this going to end? And you're feeling quite trapped in by it. And that's why this hermit energy is coming up as well. Just like that self-imposed imprisonment where it's like, do you know what, if I just stay at home, if I just keep them away from everything. This is someone who's sensitive to illness. You know, this is a child that picks up illness quite easily. It's almost like if I pull myself, you know, if I segregate myself and stay at home and stay away from sticky fingers and things of that nature, then, you know, maybe I'll get a bit of a break from this. But it's almost, I feel like that's not the right way to be doing it. Just by being at home, I do feel like there needs to be a sense of exposure with this Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter is about exposure. It's about being seen. I'm hearing parties now. Again, what I'm seeing here as well is support, having support from the people around you, having support from loved ones. You know, I do see you sat around a table, you know, with friends, and, you know, they're making suggestions and they're kind of offering the support, basically. These cards are, so you have got support around you. There are people that you can talk to. This doesn't necessarily need to just be friends, you know, this could just be being put in touch with the right people in the right places so that it provides a sense of healing. And again, I'm just getting this rich diet, or this rich if this isn't a rich diet, then it could actually be a diet that costs a lot of money. It's almost like saying that this diet is so specific, the thing that I need to put into this child is so specific, it's actually costing me a lot of money. And that might be what you're trapped and feeling trapped in your head about, the fact of, oh my God, how am I going to afford this? How am I going to afford to kind of keep up with this? Because it's almost like it's quite expensive, or it's becoming quite expensive. It's kind of taken up a lot of your resources, is what I'm trying to say. In terms of mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you know, physically, it's just, I'm getting this feeling of exhaustion. And with this Ace of Rods, you know, the Ace of Rods comes after feeling exhausted. This is in the past, this Ace of Rods. So what I'm trying to say is you're on a brand new path now. I know that you feel like things are going to be the same for a long, long time, or you just can't really see a way out of this. But this reading is saying there is a way out, and you are going to gain so much wisdom from this. It's almost like you can teach other people because you are now wise in that field, in that area, in that subject. So you're actually able to give advice and lead and guide other people because you've experienced it, you've gone through it yourself, you've gone through the motions. Again, not just the actual thing, but the emotional side to it, the mental side to it. You know, we're all great at giving advice. And if we haven't been through something, we're even better at giving advice. But when we've experienced it ourselves and we've lived through it ourselves, it makes our teachings just slap that little bit harder. So 10 of Wands showing up. This is the burden. This is you feeling like it's getting far too much to deal with. This is you feeling like you're ready to give up. It's almost like it's really hard to pinpoint whatever it is. You have tried everything. You have tried everything, absolutely everything, to bring a sense of I get lost for words sometimes. You've just tried everything. Every trick in the book is what I'm trying to say. Every trick in the book, and I feel like you're at the point of giving up. You feel you're at a point of like, oh my God, like nothing that I do is actually making any difference. When is this going to end? you've got this Knight of Swords here, and the Knight of Swords is about being really kind of confrontational. So you could be actually being quite confrontational with the people that you have enlisted for help in regards to this situation. It's almost like you're getting to the end of your tether and you're saying, I can't do this anymore. Like, somebody needs to assist me, somebody needs to help me, because I need knowledge, I need answers, I need to know. I'm not going to rest until this situation has been resolved. So we are getting up to 30 minutes now, so I'm going to pull a couple of these cards, and I'll pull an oracle card, see if we've got any more messages in there. You know, this must be really hard to actually go through. It just seems like it's taking up a lot of your time and a lot of your energy and a lot of your effort. And we know that Tauruses, they like to preserve their energy from time to time so that they can invest into the things that they want to invest into. Absolutely. So we've got stay hydrated. So make sure, if this is your child and there is some type of immune system, I'm hearing like deficiency, so the child could be deficient in something, which is what this supplement or this antibiotic is going to rectify. It's saying stay hydrated, so make sure you're giving them lots of, upside down, make sure you're giving them lots of liquids, make sure you're keeping them hydrated, make sure you're keeping them out of the sun, that kind of thing. I'm also hearing vitamin D as well, so you might want to get them checked for a vitamin D deficiency. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. Also electrolytes I'm hearing as well now, so electrolytes. And too many cooks spoil the broth. So I feel like this is that being passed from pillar to post. It's almost like, you know, you've maybe spoke to so many professionals that have given conflicting information, that it's kind of like, well, who do I actually listen to? Who is the one that I go to? Who actually knows the information that I need to rectify this? It's almost like you've had so much knowledge, but nothing that you've applied practically has actually benefited you. So too many cooks may be spoiling the broth. Now, this is interesting because this actually doesn't really fit into the reading, and I don't think this is your energy. I think this is somebody else's energy that's creeping in, and it says, I know I effed up. I know I effed up. So maybe somebody gave someone something that they digested and it was a wrong decision to make, or they're feeling really guilty about it, or maybe this was a professional that gave really poor advice, maybe, or something, but somebody in this situation feels like they effed up a little bit. Take that how it resonates. And finally, for Taurus, this is an oracle for Taurus. Let's see what the universe wants to say. This has not been a super exciting, no, I'm not saying super exciting, I just mean like really kind of optimistic. I think that optimistic needs to be, optimism needs to be kept, you know, keep that vibration high. I do think that this situation is going to close itself out, and I am getting like summertime, so like spring, summer, the transition between spring and summer. I do think that it's kind of going to bring just a sense of good fortune and a bit of good luck, and it's just going to raise your spirits and your vibration a little bit. So we've got the presence of love will always cast out fear. So again, it's kind of speaking into this support network like you've got, you know, these people around you that are offering advice and support. This three of, you know, the three, can you see? You know, these people who've got girls there with their arms around each other, so friends, you know, family. There is a lot of support around you, and I just think that you need to kind of tap into that energy and understand that although you may be quite scared, or you know, there's just a kind of an element of just not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. Maybe you are supported and you do have people around you that care about you and they care about the child and they want things to improve for you. And I do think that these people are also noticing how it's having an impact on you as a person as well, because you are the empress, you are the mother, and it's almost like throwing a stone in the sea, and the ripples, it's having a ripple effect. So they are noticing that. So lean on them for support if you need to. Continue fighting the good fight. I do think that things are going to improve, and really kind of look into herbal remedies, natural healing, things like maybe even a dehumidifier I'm hearing now as well. Even though this is saying stay hydrated, I feel like a dehumidifier might even work to take some of the impurities out of the air. I'm hearing bubble baby, so this may be a child that really is just very sensitive to their external environment, very pure, very sensitive, and I'm picking up Cancer energy, so you could be dealing with a Cancer. If not, it's just another indication to childhood, nurturing, protection and providing what it is that the child needs. So that's your reading, Taurus. I am going to wrap it up there. I will be posting these every month. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe, because it really helps me build this channel and give you all the readings and all the messages that you like to hear. So yeah, I'm going to finish up now. And if you didn't resonate with this reading for whatever reason, then do check out your other placements, because there will be messages in there. Sometimes the readings are very specific. Sometimes they tend to be, have a much broader scope. In this case, I think it's a very specific message that somebody needed to hear. So if it does resonate, please let me know. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I shall see you soon.